Hey, what's up, everybody? BDO44 coming at you with another video. All right, so fresh out of my playlist zone. When I say fresh, I mean I literally just completed it, and I looked up and glanced on IG and saw that the Lakers. It was reported on one of the Lakers fan forums that there had been some discussions back and forth, of course, between Kyrie Irving, Lakers, and the Nets in regards to Kyrie Irving, and of course, um, they were counter they had laid out the counter offers that had been set forth, and I didn't memorize all of them. It was four different counters involving various players like THT and Seth Curry, and of course Westbrook and Irving, and the picks. Um, the thing about it, though, you could clearly see that the Nets and the Lakers want very different things. Like they want to come to the same conclusion, but they're not very close. The Lakers do not want to give up two first round picks. The Lakers do want to take back Seth Curry. The Nets don't seem to necessarily want to part ways with Seth Curry, and they want to most definitely take two picks from us. So we're not close. Basically, we're not close. Was I didn't see any Nets offers that didn't require us giving them both picks. Um, and I didn't see any Laker offers that offered more than one pick. So this is going to get interesting. I'm frustrated with the idea that the Nets can't get this deal done without two picks. I think they're being ornery in regards to that, and I think the only reason why they want those picks is because they know we only have two of them. That's the God's honest truth. I don't think that they would be walking away from the table if that pick were not there. I think they only want it just to somewhat cripple us, and I think that has probably something separate to do with all of this. I don't think it probably has anything to do with Kyrie Irving and his value. That's between the Lakers and the Nets. So whatever it is, I'm pretty sure we'll get back at them for it. If for some reason we take the lesser ends of this bargain at the end of this negotiation, you best believe we're gonna have something for y'all. But nevertheless, I think the Lakers are going to drive a nice hard bargain, and I don't expect us to lose this negotiation. I don't at all, even despite Kyrie Irving's representation, you know, saying what they had to say. At the end of the day, this is the reality of the situation. If the Nets aren't bringing back the 5-year deal with no contingencies on it, they might as well not have a deal with Kyrie at all, because that's exactly what he's signing up for. And it seems to me that's what KD is demanding as well. So either they're going to do that or they got to lose both of those stars. So that's what's on the table. That's what Kyrie's representation is more or less saying if you read in between the lines. If they want to do business with us, they know what our number is, and they also know what our demands are. So that's pretty much how I took it. That's exactly how I took it. So all in all, we sit here in this waiting pattern, this holding pattern rather, and proceed to see what's next. I'm hopeful, very hopeful with all this chatter and all these back and forths that the Lakers and the Nets can come to some type of agreement, and maybe, just maybe, let the first domino actually be Kyrie Irving after all. Because it seems to me that nobody else wants to move in any other way. And as far as I could tell, if the big deal can't get done, then should not the little deal be the first one done so that the other deals can fall in place afterward? Now, I know people want to use certain things for other deals or what have you, so they want to hold different pieces. But if nobody can move, and one move will make it so that the other moves can fall into place, why not just trigger the one that we have most certain, which obviously is Kyrie to LA? So I'm hopeful that's what people will shift their thinking to, so that we can start getting the ball rolling. Because while all this suspense is really cool for the NBA fan to keep their interest, it's not cool for the teams as it pertains to trying to strategize what they need to do in terms of building their offense and defensive strategies. That needs to be in place. This is why teams like, oh, I'm not really sure who would fall into place. Maybe Memphis, depending on who retains whom. But these are the teams that carry over most of their players from the previous seasons, have a advantage, in my opinion, in regards to how they should approach their regular season, because they don't have to invent these things. Darvin Ham is going to have to invent his offense. based on the pieces that are going to be given to him right now, those pieces are uncertain. So he's coming up with all these different schemes for Westbrook, and he's not even certain the Westbrook is going to be on the team. So at this point, it's like, all right, can we just come back around to understanding that while all of this is real cute, teams do have to strategize. Teams do have to have a vision for what they're doing. And there is a severe disadvantage in place for those who are carrying over brand new pieces, or rather not carrying over any old pieces. So, yeah, let's get this done. Because at the end of the day, Utah can afford to wait because they ain't playing for nothing. Indy can afford to wait because they ain't playing for nothing. Brooklyn, if your timeline is now, it's time to get moving. The Lakers, same thing. Phoenix, same thing. Miami, same thing. All these teams that are trying to win now, you're hurting yourselves the longer this drags out. You need to know what you have, and you got to start establishing that. And so my gut tells me, if you want to bet on who's going to be favored to win a championship, bet on a team that has probably been together for a little while, because a lot of these contenders are being slapped together last minute, and as we can very well see, some of them still ain't together. So that is the reality of the situation as I see it. It's taking too long for this to take place in terms of having an advantage on a team like Milwaukee and Golden State. Them teams have been together for years, man. So that is something that is very much concerning me. What I do like, though, is that a lot of the players that we are going to be using are carried over from last season. Stanley Johnson, Wenyen Gabriel, Austin Reeves, obviously AD Bron. There should be no reason why, if we don't retain some of those guys, they don't start off pretty solid for us and give us a nice continuity straight out the gate. There should be no reason why we struggle too bad, especially if we're able to bring in Kyrie. He fits just fine. So I expect us to start winning right away, but we do need this piece to fall into place and the other surrounding pieces to fall into place in terms of shooting. So that's where I'm at. Yeah, I'm a little frustrated as it pertains to being antsy, but no, that's not where my frustration comes from. It's more so about what I know is going to have to happen behind the scenes in order to make us a championship caliber team. And right now, we need to be knowing who we are, basically. We need to be able to establish a vision that should be able to then establish habits, which should then define our identity. So, yeah, let's hurry this up. Moral of the story, that is what I'm saying. Wrap it up, B. So, that is what I gotta say, man. I'm gonna go create some art for this playlist that I just created. A dance playlist, ain't got nothing to do with the style or the culture that I'm from, but I'm dabbling in different types of music because that is what my brain does with the art forms I'm given. So I encourage everybody to go follow me on Apple Music at BDF. No 44 for that. The 44 is only for the YouTube, for those who are wondering. Follow me on IG, though. I think that is BDF 44. Might be BDF. I don't know. I got to figure it out, man. There's no consistency there with all this stuff. It's either BDF or BDF 44, same guy. Either way, I appreciate you guys supporting what I'm doing, and I am out.